What's going on guys, it's Gizmodict here and this is my in-depth review of the Asus Zenfone 6. The Zenfone 6 is the top-end phone and the most expensive one in the Asus Zenfone lineup, and it is currently selling for about 17,000 rupees in India. The most notable feature of this phone is its huge size, as it features a 6-inch display on the front. So I'm going to start off this review with the design and the physical aspects of the phone. With a large 6-inch display on the front along with the big bezels around it, the Zenfone 6 isn't shy to show off its huge size. Even the Galaxy Note 4, which is also a very big phone, looks relatively small and compact in front of it. Asus has gone for an all-plastic build on this device, but it does not feel cheap by any means. The back of the phone has a matte finish, and the white review unit which I have with me does a great job in hiding fingerprints and looks very nice. At 196 grams, the device is indeed heavy, but it gives a sense of sturdiness and a premium feel when held in the hand. For the price you're paying for this phone, I think the build quality is perfect and I had no issues with it. On the front of the phone, you have the front-facing camera, the earpiece and a tiny LED notification light, followed by the huge 6-inch IPS 720p display with a pixel density of about 245. The display is followed by 3 hardware keys for back, home and multitasking options. The power button and the volume rockers are placed on the right hand side, which are quite easy to reach. The bottom houses the micro USB port along with the primary microphone, and on the top you have the 3.5mm headphone jack along with a secondary microphone for video recording. The back of the phone houses the 13-megapixel Pixel Master camera along with an LED flash. You also get a mono speaker at the bottom along with the Zenfone and Intel branding. The phone is 9.9mm thick, but it has a curved design which makes it feel less thin and more comfortable to hold in the hand. But this also means that the phone is going to wobble when you try to use it on a flat surface. The back of the phone is removable, and it gives access to the micro SD card slot as well as the dual micro SIM card slots. There's also a single SIM version of the Zenfone 6, but I got the dual SIM one for review. The battery of the Zenfone 6 is unfortunately sealed and it is not user replaceable. On the inside, the Zenfone 6 is powered by a 2 GHz dual-core Intel Z2580 chipset which supports hyper-threading. So the operating system will read this CPU as a quad-core one even though it runs on 2 cores. The performance of the Zenfone 6 is actually quite good for the most part. The benchmark scores are decent and playing most of the games on this phone is a very good experience. High-end demanding games might stutter and drop frames at times at the highest settings, but as long as you keep the settings to medium, you're going to do just fine. The Intel chip might have a compatibility issue with some apps, but the overall support is good. I did notice that the device did get a little hot around the camera area upon heavy gaming, but it is nothing major, and overall for the price that you are paying for this phone, the performance is very good. The Zenfone 6 also has 2 GB of RAM, so multitasking is also not an issue, and the phone is very fast and snappy during normal use. On the software side, the Zenfone 6 runs on Android 4.4.2 KitKat with an Asus skin called the Zen UI. I had a review unit of the Zenfone 6 before, which was on 4.3 Jelly Bean, and after the update, I would say that the software experience is more snappy and smooth. Asus bundles a lot of apps with the Zen UI. Some of them are very useful and the others I did not even use. But the good part about these Asus apps is that they directly get updated from the Google Play Store. So every time Asus updates one of its apps, there is no need of a complete firmware upgrade. I was not a big fan of the Asus Zen UI launcher. With the latest update, it is a little customizable, but I don't like the huge icons of the Zen UI launcher. So I switched to KK launcher as my main launcher, and I had no issues with it. Asus has also customized the notification shade with a blue and green color scheme and flat icons, which I really liked. It gives access to all the quick toggles as well as some utility apps like Notes, Flashlight and Calculator. You can also customize and change the amount of quick toggles you want in the notification shade. The lock screen is also customized to include the camera, dialer and messaging toggles for easy accessibility. One of the notable features of the Zenfone 6's software is the one-hand operation mode. Upon selecting the one-hand operation mode, the screen can shrink to a 4.3, a 4.5 or a 4.7 inch display with on-screen buttons. which makes this huge phone very easy to use with one hand. This feature is very useful when you are out and is much needed on a phone of this size. There are some more settings as well which you can customize. So overall, the Zen UI from Asus is actually a good skin. Asus might have included a lot of apps, but many of those apps are useful. For example, the What's Next feature syncs with your Google Calendar and shows you the events. And the Do It Later app syncs with your Google Tasks and displays all the information. There were dips in the frame rate of some animations sometimes, but overall the experience was very smooth and snappy. The Zenfone 6 will be getting the Android Lollipop update in the April of 2015, so things are going to get even better on the software side. On the back of the Zenfone 6 we have a 13 megapixel Pixel Master camera capable of 1080p video. The camera software made by Asus offers a lot of modes and options to get the most out of this shooter. You can tweak things like the white balance, the ISO, aspect ratio, and a lot of other stuff. There are a lot of modes offered by Asus, but the one which will capture the attention of most of the people is the selfie mode. In the selfie mode, you can select the number of faces and then point the rear facing camera towards yourself to take a high resolution selfie. But if you don't want to do that, you still have a 2 megapixel camera on the front capable of 720p video. The picture quality of the Zenfone 6 is good enough in this range. It is not going to blow you away, but it is pretty good for a phone of this price. The shots in the daylight look nice and detailed, and the HDR mode works pretty well too. In low lighting, digital noise creeps in, but the Zenfone 6 is still able to capture a good amount of details, and you can still get good photos if you tweak with the ISO a little. The low light mode does a very good job when there is very minimum lighting around. It takes pictures at about 3 megapixels and the focusing is slow in low light mode. But overall the result is good and you get much more light into the shot with the low light mode. The video capture was laggy from the Asus camera app, but when I shifted to Google Camera, it was smooth and decent enough with a little issue while focusing. Overall, the Zenfone 6's camera will please you for the price you are paying for this phone. It is very nice to look at pictures and videos on the 6-inch display, and talking about that display, it is a 720p IPS panel covered by Gorilla Glass 3. Since the display size is large, the pixel density is just 245, but it is actually not that bad. The viewing angles are nice and the color reproduction is very good. Asus has also given the Splendid app which lets you tweak your display settings according to what you like. Video watching and gaming on this display is a great experience. However, in some games you might feel that a full HD display would have been much better. The display is very reflective and the brightness setting is somewhat uneven. It is very low below 60% and it gets quite high after that. Overall, the Zenfone 6 has a very nice display, but a full HD panel would have made this phone a steal at this price. The battery life on the Zenfone 6 is great. The 3300 mAh battery is easily going to last you through a day even with a heavy use. During my testing, I took the phone at 100% battery at 9 AM in the morning, watched a few videos for about an hour, played Asphalt 8 for half an hour, used GPS for 20 to 25 minutes along with a few phone calls and a heavy WhatsApp use. I had the brightness at least 80% and I even had the auto sync on. At the end of the day, at around 11 PM, I was able to get a screen on time of more than 5 hours, which is great. The call quality and the network reception was also good without any kind of issues. Overall, the Zenfone 6 is a great phone. If you want to buy a phablet in this price range, you can definitely go ahead and buy the Asus Zenfone 6. The phone has a nice and huge screen. It performs well in day-to-day as well as medium to heavy tasks. It has a good camera and it is even going to get the Android Lollipop update. All these things make the Zenfone 6 a very good phablet and I have no problems in recommending it to anyone. If you would like to know anything more about this phone, then do let me know in the comments. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, then please give this video a thumbs up and share it. For more such videos, please subscribe to the channel and also follow me on my social media for more technology updates. Thank you for watching and I'll be back with more videos soon. Peace.